What up, boys? Guess what we're doing today? We're installing the Quickshifter, finally, on my Yamaha R7. So here's all the tools you're gonna need. You're gonna need a torque wrench, you're gonna need a 1/4 inch ratchet, 4mm hex, 5mm hex, 11mm wrench, 10mm wrench, measuring tape, some Loctite, some dikes or flush cutters or whatever you want to call them. These two are optional. It's just to make the job go a little bit quicker so you can drive them out and stuff like that. And here's the Quickshifter assembly. This is going to be a Yamaha GYTR factory Quickshifter, so everything should fit, plug and play, perfect fitment and all that. Here's all the parts. This is the wire holder bracket. This is the actual Quickshifter solenoid. This is a rod end. This is a dust boot for the rod end because it has like a little spherical bearing in there. This guy is a locking nut for the rod end. This Quickshifter shaft replaces your factory shifter shaft. This is just a zip tie to kind of tidy things up. And this is a wire holder. This goes into this bracket. I'll show you guys more on that later on in this video. And of course, can't forget the instructions. This has all the torque specs and it's pretty much like a step-by-step guide on how to install this thing. All right, so step one is to remove this fairing right here. It's held on by a 4mm bolt and then 3 little push clips somewhere over here in the front. I'll show you guys after I take this bolt out. So after you take that bolt out, you have a push clip here, and then you have 2 push clips here. To take these push clips out, it's really easy. Just grab your little 4mm hex and then push the center in until you hear a click like that. And then once you hear that click, it's ready to come out. You can just dig your nails under the head of it and then just kind of pull up like that. And then just do the same thing for these 2 up front. Push it in the center and then just pull them out. Once you have the screw and those push clips out, you just pull forward and then the fairing just pretty much slides out. Next, we take out this fairing right here, and it's also held on by some 4mm bolts. So just take these out. And once you got those 2 bolts out, you just pull up and it comes out. So next we're gonna work on taking the factory shifter rod out. First, we're gonna peel this rubber boot back, and then we're gonna remove this 4mm bolt here. Once you have the rod off, you're gonna move on to the bottom part. Then you're gonna break this locking nut loose. That's gonna be a 10mm, and then this rod end right here is an 11. And then just thread the rod out. It's reverse thread, so as you're going to the right, it'll start pulling itself out. All right, once you got your factory shifter out, you're gonna wanna take this locking nut because you're gonna transfer it over to the new Quickshifter assembly. And you're also gonna take this locking nut up here because you're also gonna transfer that over to the new Quickshifter assembly. To take this off, it's gonna be the 10mm and the 11mm. You're also going to take the 4mm that bolted the shifter onto the transmission linkage. You're going to transfer this over too. So now that we have everything disassembled, let's assemble the Quickshifter assembly. First step is to get the rod end and the dust boot. Put the rod end into the dust boot. Just like so. Get a locking nut, thread that up. Once you're done with this part, you're going to get your Quickshifter solenoid and thread in the rod end. Then after that, you're going to get one of the locking nuts from your old shifter and you're going to thread it into the Quickshifter solenoid. Then you're going to get the new shaft and thread that in. And then you're going to get one of the old locking nuts, thread that in. And then just pop the 4mm mounting fastener into this little spherical head thing. And then once we have this all assembled, we're ready to put it on the bike. So the first thing we're going to want to do is to thread this into the pedal shifter. And then we're gonna thread the top part, just a couple threads in to the transmission. Before we do anything else, we're gonna get our Loctite, put a little dab on the threads and thread it in there. And once it's threaded all in, we're gonna get our torque wrench, set it to 10 Newton meters, and torque this bolt to spec. Just like that. Make sure that this wire is hanging down, so that way we can route it later, which I'll show you later on in the video. Once we have this bolt torqued, we're gonna go ahead and adjust this whole thing to the 280 millimeters that the instruction manual is telling us to adjust it to. So to do that, you just have to twist it one way and it lengthens the rod, or you could twist it the other way and then it shortens the rod. We're gonna measure out from the center of this bolt to the center of this circle, and 280 millimeters equates to 11.02 inches, which is basically like 11 inches. So right now I'm a little too far extended, so I'm gonna bring it back in just a bit. That actually looks really good right there. That's at 280 millimeters. This is how it should look after it's all adjusted. But for now, let's go ahead and lock up all of these locking nuts. We have one here, here, and here. We're gonna use our 11 millimeter and our 10 millimeter wrenches to lock them in place. All right, once all of your locking nuts are all locked up, go ahead and remeasure to make sure that nothing's changed with the length, and we're good. So now let's go ahead and move on to the wiring part of this. Like I said earlier, it's all plug and play, so it's gonna be really easy. You just have to take out one of these starter bolts right here. It's actually this bolt that we need to remove so we can install that bracket. So to remove this bolt, it's a 5 millimeter hex. Once you have the bolts out, we're gonna install the wire bracket. This is gonna hold the wire in place for the quick shifter, so that way it doesn't make any contact with any moving parts or anything like that. So this bolt is gonna get torqued to 12 Newton meters. So let's set our torque wrench to 12 and go ahead and torque it down. We're at 12, so we're good to go. So down in here, this is the connector for the quick shifter, factory connector for the quick shifter. There's nothing connected to it. It's just tied up to another wire. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this tape off so we could separate it. And then we're gonna bring this down to the quick shifter and then plug it in. All right, so once you get that connector free from all that tape, you're just gonna unplug this little cap. And then from there, now you can plug in your quick shifter. Just like that. Once you have it all connected, you're gonna wanna shove it back into where you originally retrieved the connector from. And then they supplied you this little zip tie to kind of zip tie it all together. But I'm actually gonna just use my own bigger zip tie, just kind of for peace of mind, because this little zip tie is kind of tiny. So these are just like standard 8-inch zip ties that you can like get from Harbor Freight. Pack of them for like really cheap. So the goal here is to basically zip tie it away from any hot or moving parts. So I actually ended up putting 2 zip ties, one at the top and one at the bottom, just to make sure that it's extra secure. Yeah, that connector isn't going anywhere. After you put the zip ties on, just cut off the tail ends. And then right here, we're gonna install that wire holder to that bracket that we installed to the starter. Pretty much works just like a zip tie. After you have that installed, just kind of run through the gears. Make sure that the wire isn't getting caught up on anything. That looks pretty good to me. So once we're done installing everything, the instructions are saying that to activate the quick shifter, we're gonna have to upshift into gear and hold the foot shifter in the up position, turn on the ignition so the motorcycle powers on, hold the foot shifter up for 10 seconds, and then downshift and verify that the QS light turns on our dashboard. And from there, we should have quick shifting enabled. So let's try it out. Hey, it worked out. Check it out, guys. Look, you see that QS? We have Quickshifter now. All right, so I guess from here we could just start putting the whole thing back together and then go for a ride. All right, here goes. Oh man, that feels so good. It was trippy. It was trippy to just like shift without the clutch, but man, that feels really good. Yeah, this is really good. I like it. It's nice. Like I said, it was kind of weird at first, kind of awkward, but I just went for it, and then it shifted. It did exactly what it needed to do. So that was pretty cool. The Quickshifter, amazing. It feels so good. You should do it. GYTR Yamaha Quickshifter. Easy install. And it's not even that expensive. It's like, I think I paid like 180 or something like that. I don't remember what I paid, but it's not that bad. And as you guys saw, the install is very, very easy with some basic tools. And it totally changes the way your bike rides. Yeah, super cool. You guys should do it. Thanks for watching. You guys are the best. Please like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Peace.